Oh my goodness, my listeners. I'm so excited for today because today I get to talk and chat with Miss Dawn Maloney. Dawn, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited and it's going to be a great day.
It is going to be a great day. So tell everybody who you are, what you do, why we should follow you.
Sure, sure. So I am the founder and CEO of makeupclasses.com, and we are an education business for makeup artists, and we also do some hairstyling classes as well. So I travel all over the United States teaching aspiring and already professional makeup artists my patent pending technique, which involves facial anatomy, it's anatomical makeup and lighting, makeup for lighting. So it's very interesting science. I always say makeup artistry is an art. It's a
Mm-hmm.
science and it's
Totally.
not a god.
I love that so
Sometimes you
much.
see someone and you're like, whew, all that turned out okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, 100%. A lot of prayer goes into all these services.
Oh, amen, sister.
Oh,
Yes.
yes. Oh, yes. So, okay, so how did this happen? Like, how did this come to be?
Yeah, so I got involved in makeup artistry really out of necessity. And I think sometimes in life, we get steered in different directions because of circumstance.
Hmm.
So I went to Montclair State College. This was in the early mid 90s. And I became pregnant with my daughter Noelle at 21 years old. So I dropped out of school. But I loved broadcasting and I loved television production. In fact, I think the irony was, through my course of study, I was figuring out, you're a young person, you really don't know what you want to do in life. But I was thinking about working for public television, more specifically Sesame Street. I've always been a huge fan, I still am, of Sesame Street.
It's so cute.
I always say like, oh, I'm thinking about kids. I'm thinking about kids, and then here we go. We're having one. So I dropped out of school and I moved to Virginia near Norfolk, Hampton, Virginia, where I lived for about 2.5 years. And I was with my boyfriend at the time, then became husband. I quickly realized when I moved down there, and as soon as I had my daughter, that I was in trouble. I had definitely married someone who suffered from mental illness, alcoholism, and drug addiction.
Mm.
And I knew right away that the only way for myself to survive and my daughter to survive was I had to really become like the breadwinner.
Mm.
I was in that relationship and then it ended 14 years later, not only because of addiction, but he was also extremely abusive. So I'm a survivor of domestic violence and
Mhm.
on the back of my book,
Yes, show it.
Artist
Absolutely.
Design book, I have this symbol here. This is
Yes.
the purple ribbon, and this symbolizes resilience and courage. And of
Yeah.
course, I always use the color purple.
I literally have chills all over my body to the point that it
Oh,
hurts.
oh,
Like because because that is so important for us to be mindful of, like, yeah, we're business owners. Yeah, we're doing what we love. Yeah, for some of us, God is in control of our lives. And we go through these things and it's so, and it like changes us in every way.
oh, absolutely. Who you choose to be with has a lot to do with the trajectory of your life. Now, I'm an
Mm.
amazing husband of 18 years, Jim. If you watch my Instagrams or social media, I talk about him, I plug him, you'll see him in the background. Oh, don't get me on camera. Yeah. You'll see photos with us when we're at trade shows. But yes, good decisions, bad decisions turn
Yes.
twist and turn us, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I
100%.
had to, obviously find a job. And, I'm young. I'm like 22 years old. I have a newborn.
Mm-hmm.
I see an ad in a newspaper. This is when you actually read papers and
Mm-hmm.
looked into want ads, and it was for glamour shots. And basically, glamour shots is a photo studio where the customer comes in, gets their makeup, hair done, and we take pictures, and then packages are sold by the photographer salesperson. So I went in and I guess I did myself up as best that I could. I had no training in makeup. Now, I did learn a lot about lighting in my broadcasting major. So
Right.
that was always in my back pocket. But they hired me and I did hair and makeup, no training. I didn't know what I was doing. I would work on someone and I'm looking at makeup art, like oh, that looks like a good idea. Let me do that. Let me section. What are you doing? You're sectioning the hair. Okay.
I
And
love that.
it didn't pay well. It was $4.25 an hour. So I was literally starving. Um, and I was on assistance, right?
Mm-hmm.
You need supplements. So I know what that feels like to be hungry. I know what it feels like to work and not be able to buy food for yourself. So
Mm.
my heart is breaking right now with today's economy.
Yeah.
Um, I never forget where I came from
Yeah.
because that helps me become a better person
Mm.
for my employees
Yeah.
and for my clients.
It helps us too, because depending on who your client is, right? Like we got to be humble.
Oh my God, yes.
You know what I mean? Like the minute we think that we're so great, I mean, we're only as good as our last service, like for real.
Exactly, exactly. And you know what? Customers love the fact that I keep it real.
Yeah.
I saw, with your podcast, you're like, you love when your guests keep it real. I said, oh, she got the best guest today. I
Oh,
keep it
yes.
real.
I'm
Yeah.
so excited.
But I think my story also empowers women that, you know what, when you get beat down,
Yeah.
literally,
Mm-hmm.
you can brush yourself off and stand up and move on. Now it's not so easy. It was not like, oh, I'm out of here. Everything's oh no, no, no. It
Yeah.
was a very long process. It took help from family, friends, prayer, support
Mm-hmm.
groups,
Mm-hmm.
therapy. To start over is not easy. I'm not here to tell anyone that starting a business is easy. Oh my gosh, if these walls could talk.
Yeah.
The tears, the frustration, the loneliness.
Mm-hmm.
Entrepreneurship can be very lonely. And not
Yeah.
everybody supports your dreams. Not everybody is your biggest cheerleader. So you have to have something internal, some belief inside, some type of faith that allows you to keep going. And I'm really, really blessed that I have an amazing partner in life, partner in business.
Mm-hmm.
And him and we're like yin and yang. We really play off of each other. We really support each other. And if it wasn't for my husband, I wouldn't be able to do this. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
That's for
Mm-hmm.
sure. And my employees too. I have amazing makeup artists, my assistant, fabulous, and all the other freelance people that come in and help with the
Y-
business.
So,
Um,
so tell everybody what it is that you actually do, right?
So I have three revenue centers in my business. So I'm a makeup artist. We have services,
Mhm.
we sell product, and I teach classes.
Okay.
So my classes are based on my patent pending information, my IP. I'm
Mm.
the only makeup artist in the United States that has a patent pending when it comes to the application of makeup. So my patent pending has three parts. It has anatomy,
Mhm.
which is what this book is. This is
Yeah,
230. Look at how thick,
I love it.
just on facial anatomy. Now, the reason why I'm showing you the thickness is because when you read a cosmetology book, all those brands that
Hmm.
license their information, so hairdressers, estheticians, makeup artists could be licensed, this is about 4 pages in those books. So
Hmm.
this is 230 pages that teaches you about human anatomy, face shape. I teach 50 face shapes, 36 lip combinations,
Wow.
32 eye. So that's 57,600 possibilities in human anatomy, not including skin, brow, lash color, density, hair, all of our uniqueness, right? So
Wow, that's
I'm
so
just
cool.
teaching you 3 aspects of the face. Nose, we don't, I'm not
Hmm.
talking about that. So just face shape, eye combination, lip combination. And this book came about when I started working for the Sally Jesse Raphael show in
Mm.
1998.
Nice.
So we got evicted out of
Oh.
Hampton, Virginia. He stayed behind for
Mhm.
a few months, and I went up to New Jersey, and then he came back. I was living with family, and he got a job working at a local health club. And I love fitness. I love working out. It's always been part of my life. I've had a gym membership since I've been 16 and I'm 51.
Oh, wow, that's
Not
so
that I work out every day,
no,
please.
right, right, but that's the point.
I've got the belly, that's for sure. But so I'm working out and he's talking to a client who is purchasing a gym membership. She's signing up for the gym membership. And she's just happened to say what she does for a living. I guess that's part of the sales pitch, right?
Sure.
And she is Pat Ferrari, who is the therapist slash social worker on the Sally Jesse Raphael show. So apparently they must have been talking. He must have
Uh-huh.
mentioned that I was, a makeup artist.
Sure.
I really didn't know what I was doing. I was still learning. I also worked at Lancome for a few months when I lived in Virginia. So I learned the word freelance. So that was interesting. If you're a new makeup artist, get a job at a makeup counter or a makeup store because it's a great education. So that's what
Hmm.
I learned a lot. So they called me off the stepper,
Mm.
explained like the person that was working on all of the guests was either leaving or got let go. I don't remember. And she wrote down the phone number of the production manager, John was his name, and to give him a call. Now, this is a very pivotal moment. Standing here in the gym, I'm all sweaty. I'm
Yeah.
so young. I'm like 23 years old now. I have really, I mean, I have a high school diploma. I'm a college dropout. So my and plus I'm living with crazy.
Hmm.
So my self-esteem was about this big. This is very pivotal. Because when you have an opportunity
Yeah.
and one voice is saying, go for it, what do you
Mm.
have to lose?
Mm.
Right? But
Hmm.
then it gets overshadowed by this voice. What are
Hmm.
you, crazy? You don't even have a makeup kit. You don't even have the money right now to take the bus to Manhattan. You're 23. You're going to go
Hmm.
work on a national, international talk show. Like, who the heck do you think you are? But something inside me said, no, I believe in better. I'm going to try it. I'm going to block this voice out. I don't know what came over me, Krystine, but I went for it. So I
Hmm.
called John and we set up an interview. It was real quick. It was like either the next day or the day after. And he said, come in with your makeup kit, which was a kit noodle. It was this pink little box that I got from Santa when I was 16 years old. Now
Oh
I'm
my God.
23. I had gratis from Lancome and Club Monaco. I freelanced for Club Monaco and drugstore stuff, which is great. Drugstore stuff is
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
I had 3 foundation colors. What the heck are you going to do with that? But I went in and he said, do some of the guests. and I just went for it. And I just had faith. And the day ended, he said, "You did a great job." I'm like, "Oh my gosh, thank you." And then before you know it, I'm in the grocery store. My daughter's in the cart. Her little legs are dangling.
Yeah.
I, I get the beeper call, 212
Mhm.
on my little fuchsia colored beeper. I lift her out of the grocery cart. We run outside. I literally left I've never done this before in my life except that. That was the only time I felt so bad. I left the cart with the groceries in the middle of the aisle. This is how bad I wanted it. I ran out of the store. I went to a payphone
Mhm.
and he said, "Would you like the job?" And I'm like, "Oh my gosh, yes." That job, so just to paint a picture of how my life truly changed, I was making $4.25 at Glamour Shots. I
Mhm.
was making $6 at Lancome. Then when I moved to New Jersey, I got a freelance job. So that wasn't, it was once in a while, but that was
Mhm.
17 an hour freelancing. Now this is going back 1998.
Yeah.
And then I was offered $40 an hour to.
Oh my God.
So this is the motivator. I said, "Oh my God." Now 1998, $40, that's a lot of money today.
Mhm.
I said, "You know what? I really need to keep this job. So I
Mhm.
need to figure this out," because sometimes guests would look really good and I'm like, "Wow, okay, that came out great." And then other times I'm like, "Oh no, what the heck did I just do? I hope nobody's watching right now."
Mhm.
So I started studying anatomy and patterns. And then I also had the lighting in my back pocket. But again, I didn't know makeup for lighting. No one ever told me. I remember Mitch, God rest his soul, he's passed, but he was the audio guy on Sally. He would walk up to me. He's like, "Dawn, you got to do the makeup for the lighting." And then he'd walk away.
And you're like, I need more. I need
What,
more.
what does that mean? Even to this day, I've read so many makeup books, so many training books. Nobody explains it. So that's what I teach. I've cracked the code. I've patent pending makeup for lighting. So certain colors have a physical reaction, a positive physical reaction with color temperature, and some have a negative reaction. So we'll actually go flat. Some come forward, some go flat. So I did the homework for you. So when people take my classes, my 20 and 40-hour class, they learn exactly what colors work for what type of light and all the scenarios. So there's 7 lighting conditions, 7 makeup categories, and that's what I teach. So that's what makes me very unique to the industry
Yeah.
because of the anatomy and the lighting. So my point in sharing this story with your audience is sometimes pressure and
Mm.
negative things will push you in a direction for the positive. So
Mhm.
sometimes we think, I was so frustrated, makeup for lighting. Oh my gosh, I don't know what to do. Well, Dawn, why don't you figure it out? Why don't you start experimenting? Why don't you have a notebook at work and start writing down what you used and the type of light that you're under when you go work with photographers, when you do yourself? So I
Mhm.
started noticing patterns. I wasn't lazy. And
Right.
that's, you have to, in a career, you cannot be lazy. You cannot be lazy.
Do you find that that is becoming a trend? That laziness?
Unfortunately, I do see that, especially, I love fashion, I love clothes, and that's one of the things that I noticed with the pandemic,
Mhm.
that a lot of women and men, if you look at men, unfortunately, they look like their 5-year-old sons.
I
The
know.
ball cap, the messy, sagging pants. I look at it this way, you got to get dressed anyway. Choose the nice outfit over the slumpy outfit.
Right.
That a word? Slumpy, frumpy. There we go.
Slumpy is great. I love that. That is sloppy and frumpy together.
That's what happened. I'm like, yeah, I can't think
No,
straight.
that's
Yeah,
no.
slumpy. Yeah, yeah. And women too, unfortunately. There's a saying, right? Krystine,
Yeah.
don't judge a book by its cover. I don't agree with that. judge a book by its cover. Because you know what? If I judged or used discernment, I don't want to say judge,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
used,
Yeah.
I would have had better relationships, less problems in my life. I think that's very important because what we see on the outside of the person, and I'm not talking about the way your looks, like what you were
Right.
born. I'm talking about how you put yourself together.
Right.
Has a lot to do with how you feel about yourself. And no, you
Hmm.
get up every day and look like Jersey housewife or, but don't wear the stained shirt or the ripped clothes or, clothes that haven't been washed in 5 days. And I get it. And I've went through it. You have depression,
Hmm.
anxiety, you don't feel good, you're sick, whatever is going on in life, but make those moments as temporary as possible.
Hmm.
Try a little. If getting out of the shower is the one thing you can do today to feel, or getting out of bed and getting in the shower is the one thing that you could do today to feel good, do it. You deserve it. You deserve it. And I think that's why laziness kicks in because people say, well, what's the point? I'm never going to make it. I'm
Hmm.
I'm never going to have anything in life. I can't, so many, again, that voice, that negative voice, you got to block it out. I don't know any other way. I'm a big self-help person. I love listening to that. I get a lot of encouragement. I've met a lot of great Tony Robbins. I've done his makeup so many times. Mel Robbins, she was a friend of mine. Um, Actually, our friendship broke off and I wondered, I kept calling her and I'm like, why isn't this girl calling me back? Then I read her book. Then I read her book. I had no idea what she was going through with her depression and anxiety.
Oh,
It's a real thing. It's a real thing. And you have to give yourself grace, right? You have
yeah.
to give yourself grace.
That is so, I love what you're saying because especially today, right? Like you all hear about like you got to dress for the job that you want. And
Mhm.
totally understandable. Like we're going to have those days that we just can't get up. We are in a bad space, but just getting up to take a shower, that's
Mhm.
going to change. You're going to think better. The same way that getting your hair done. You can look, you can have a like what is it like a burlap sack, but your hair is done, you are good to go. Put on some mascara only. Oh my God, it changes everything. And so just putting on a decent shirt without a stain,
Mhm.
you're going to
Yeah,
attract these relationships, professional and personal, that will change your life. I mean,
that's so,
you are like you yourself just said it. You were in the gym working on yourself and your life changed.
yeah.
Like, that's awesome.
And my life behind the scenes was horrible. But I
Yeah.
still said, you know what, get up, get
Yeah.
out of bed, get going, keep going. But I've had many moments in my life where I didn't want to get out of bed. I
Hmm.
felt very depressed, horrible about myself and my situation, but something just deep down inside just kept saying, keep going. You have purpose. Everybody
Hmm.
has purpose. You have
Hmm.
purpose.
Hmm.
Every person that's listening has amazing purpose. And if we live, and I'm not talking about, oh, I want to be the richest person on the planet or, whatever, these ridiculous, I don't know, controlling type of scenarios where you
Hmm.
want to be on top of everybody,
Yeah.
that I don't think is healthy, because when is enough, right?
Hmm. Hmm. So, what has been a common myth that you get about what you do?
What would be a myth? So something that somebody thinks but isn't true. Well, there's a lot in the makeup industry, especially when
Mhm.
it comes to like manufacturing, where products come from. Um, I think in retail, okay, here's one that's very timely. I don't know what's going on with retail and why stores are closing. I love the Wall Street Journal.
Hmm.
I look at stock reports. it just doesn't add up. It doesn't make sense to me of what's going on, why all these stores are closing.
Hmm.
I guess these companies think that women, I'm going to speak on women right now because
Hmm.
makeup. I mean, there are men that wear makeup and
Yeah.
um, but it's more women
Hmm.
that do. Um, and I have by the way, I went back to school and I did get my broadcasting degree. My minor is in women and gender studies.
Oh, cool. I love this. I love it. Okay, go ahead.
Um, but I think people want to go in stores. I think
Yeah,
people crave the social interaction. And I was just reading yesterday, last night, about this store, Luckin. I don't know if you've heard of it.
I
It's
have not.
a Chinese-based Starbucks, basically. It's a coffee company that started in China. They have two here in the US. There's one in, I think they're both in Manhattan, maybe. I know there's one in Manhattan.
Hmm.
And it was interesting when I was reading this article, they said that everything is done on an app. You order all your coffee on an app. And I found this sentence very disturbing.
Hmm.
Don't have to interact with another person. And I thought to myself, how sad when I want to get a cup of coffee, which I very rarely buy coffee. Jim and I like to make our own. We have a
Hmm.
espresso machine. We love that. But I want to talk to people. I want to have a small conversation. I like to see, oh, what did you order? Oh, that drink looks good. Maybe next time.
Right.
Understand why companies, but there's got to be a reason. I mean, talk about conspiracy theory, but there's got to be a reason why big business is starting to want to isolate us. And I don't
Hmm.
like it. It doesn't, do you notice that?
I I do notice that. I quite frequently I get like a craving to like how it used to be where you go to the mall and you hang out and you people watch, you know? And since the pandemic, I've attempted to go to my local mall a couple times and they're closed and I'm like, "What the heck?" And they don't open till like 11:30. And by the time for me,
Yeah.
my day is wasted. It's gone. I'm not in the mood anymore. I want to eat and like chill out at home. Florida is hot, so I don't want to be out, right? And yeah, I mean, yes, Amazon and online shopping and all this stuff is great and you pay for convenience, but I do crave the old days where you hang out and there's people, the food courts, the coffee.
Well,
Like,
it's our job to support and bring that back. Women come into our
absolutely.
store, and I'll give you, for instance, a woman came in yesterday for custom blend foundation. That's one thing we do. We bottle, we actually mix and make and then bottle it. So it's a perfect match. She was in the store. Now this literally will take like maybe 10 minutes. We
Yeah.
schedule a half hour, but
Yeah.
she was in the store for almost 2 hours. We were just chit-chatting, hanging
Right.
out. It was great with one of my students. She was
Yeah.
taking class learning. And women love that. Women are, and there were things going on in her life that she really wanted to share, had
Hmm.
a lot in common, and it was just great conversation. And you could tell that when she walked out, she felt like almost like a healing in a way,
Yeah.
like connecting with
Exactly.
two other women and having that experience, that interaction. I don't know what's going on with retail. It's really bothering me though.
No, but I love it. I do believe it's some kind of conspiracy. I can't help but to think, that divide and conquer kind of mentality. And it's
Mhm.
like, no, we as women in the beauty industry, we as women as business people, no, we need to unite. We all,
Absolutely.
oh my God, like it's for
And this
me.
is this is going to unite us. The beauty
Absolutely. This is
unite.
what it is. Like, yeah, I know, like women supporting women. Okay, but it's so much more than that. It's like we are past that. It's like unite or die. Okay? Like that's what
Or be lonely. or be
Right.
lonely. Yeah,
Or be
no, we have to
lonely.
stick together. We have to, and men are great too. Don't get me wrong. My
No, they're
husband,
great.
we have a very traditional marriage. We have traditional roles. Although, the funny thing is, I always tease him, and he knows this about me, is that I am a feminist.
Yeah.
But you could buy my dinner.
Exactly.
Right.
Amen.
Hold the door. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I have the right to stay home and bake cookies if I want to.
I've never, if he was here, he would be laughing and eye rolling, but I've never mowed a lawn. Like, I'm not interested. I'm not,
No.
I will clean a house. Ooh, I love,
Oh man, I will do laundry all
brag.
day.
Yeah. I love organizing,
Yeah.
decluttering. Oh,
I know.
my heart, right?
Absolutely. Okay, so what is an insult or your favorite insult that you've ever gotten that you love that you got it?
Oh, wow. I've gotten a lot because I was bullied as a kid.
Hmm.
Gotten a lot. You just want one.
Whatever you want, babe. Whatever you want.
I have a lot. I have some that are real deep and painful, and then some that are just absolutely stupid.
Well, we keep
Um,
it real and raw here, so you pick
Okay.
one. You do
So
it.
like I was always made fun of in school, middle school, little bit in high school. High school tapered off, but by the
Hmm.
way I looked, I was always
Yeah.
called ugly, you have big hands, and I do. I have big hands. I'm
Hmm.
long, 5'9".
Oh.
It's just the way I was born. What am I gonna do?
Right.
Cut off like, but the irony is I can't tell you how many times I've been stopped in public as a young adult and adult, like, oh, were you ever a hand model, or were you, and I did modeling when I was younger, but yeah, so one of the most painful things was when I went out of business in '07, when my life was a complete dumpster fire. And I really don't believe in shooting the wounded, right? But
Mhm.
unfortunately, with social media, people shoot their wounded, and that does not make for a healthy planet. And the truth was, I was suicidal. I
Mhm.
was depressed. I did have anxiety. I thought my life was over. We all have purpose. We all have the right to live. And the truth is, you know, I I was victimized.
Mhm.
They didn't know what was happening behind closed doors, that I had someone, you know, punching I had a broken nose.
Mhm.
I would have black eyes, busted lip, bruises all over my body. That's why I always wore like full coverage, long sleeves. I would travel to Florida or California, I'd teach
Mhm.
classes, and I do remember students saying, "Aren't you hot, Dawn?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm always cold," which I am. I am always
Mhm.
cold.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But I was covering up. I was covering up.
I am so angry for you. Like,
Yeah.
oh my
Well, but this
God.
goes on though. This goes on today. That was
I know, but when you hear it,
right.
when you hear it like from somebody that you're like talking to, like, and you're like, oh my God, who is this person? I want to run
And
them
I
over. Like,
and I am a nice person. I really am, and I am very supportive, and I forgive them because I know they're
yeah,
knuckleheads. I know they're a
right.
bunch, but
And that's the bigger strength too, forgiving that. Like, you are wishing me the ultimate harm, but I'm gonna forgive you because hurt people, and that's
absolutely, absolutely. And consider the source. When
right.
someone's being mean to you, or they say something horrible, or they want to insult you, or let's say you do a makeover and they're like, "That's not that good. She thinks she's all," whatever. Consider the source, really. Is
Yeah.
it that important? It washes off with soap and water. Is it really that,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Um, but people are mean. They're mean on the internet. They insult, and they don't know what's going on. behind closed doors and what that person's going through. I never ever responded. I never wrote anything. I won't to this day. I won't, I'm not that type of person. I don't think I've ever written anything bad on the internet. I don't think so. But yeah, I just don't do that. I'm not that type of person. I'm
It's
not going
not
to
it's
a
not
one
worth it.
star, here's a one
Right.
star. My coffee came 5 minutes late. This restaurant gets 1 star. I'm just not. Give grace. Like, let's be
Right.
real, people. Let's be real.
Right. All right. So with that being said, what's
Mhm.
an important trait or strength that your students, that people in the industry need to have to be successful?
Oh, you got to have grit. You got to have grit. And when things aren't going so great, you just have to stand up, pick yourself off, brush off, keep going. Never, ever, ever give up. And there's a lot of competition. The beauty industry is flooded. There's so many brands out there, but if you can create something that really helps and serves, that was always the basis of my business, was to help and serve, because I thought to myself, I know there's the makeup artists out there that got a really good break in life, but they're having a hard time with their makeup artistry. This will help them. So yeah, always be in service, always in service for sure.
Mm,
Yeah.
absolutely.
And the money will follow. The money
Yeah.
always follows, because like attracts like, and good vibration, high vibration. I know this sounds so vanilla, but good things happen to good people. Bad
Mm,
things happen to good people too. So if you have the grit and the stamina, you'll
keep
be
going.
you'll
Keep
be
going.
okay. Be
So,
okay.
what is one lesson that you have learned being a makeup artist, being in this industry, that you wish everybody would get?
I guess the one lesson would be that the person in the chair is a person.
Hmm.
Even if you're working on a celebrity, and I've worked on a lot of celebrities, um, over 600.
That's
And
awesome.
I they're real people too. They have parents, they have things going on in their life. Not that I can't say that any like celebrity was ever nasty to me. Honestly, like everybody was always nice to me. I mean, I've had a few like what we call like D-listers.
Mm-hmm.
I understand in retrospect why they behave the way they behave, because they're looking for fame, they're looking for money, they're looking outward, right? To be
Mm-hmm.
approved by the
Mm,
public.
yeah.
And they're in a struggle because they're not getting what they want. They're basically like brats, and they're acting like a brat. So I just, kind of just, shut it down. I don't
Yeah.
say ignore it. I understand. When you're a makeup artist and a hairstylist, I mean, any hairstylist will tell you this, or a makeup artist will say we're a bit of like a psych, psych, not a psychologist, but like a therapist.
Mm-hmm.
So you
Mm-hmm.
see so many people, you talk to so many people, and you start to see patterns in human behavior. So
Mm-hmm.
when somebody's a brat, you know, okay, I get
Yeah.
it. How you are, whatever. You're trying to make me feel bad, but it's not going to work. I mean, maybe I do get upset and I'll, quietly cry, or, get really mad, angry, on my way home. I'm like, I can't believe she or said that to me, blah, blah, blah. But, it's like, I can't even remember. See, I can't even give
That's
you
perfect. That's perfect. No, it's fine.
in the moment I was probably upset, but then I let it go. So,
Yeah. What's an area that no one agrees with you about?
oh, no one agrees. No one agrees. Hmm. Gosh, that's a tough one. Well, one of the th okay. So, the heavy, super heavy makeup, all that contour, I think is kind of out of style.
Okay.
It's like too much, a lot of women. But see, people agree with me when they come to the store. Women are like, I don't want all that layer. I don't have time for that. I want simple, that sort of thing. So, that's someone
It could be personal or professional.
personal or professional. Yeah. Um, I don't know because I don't really have animosity in my life. I don't really have, I'm sure I have haters, but I don't know who they are, so that's okay. I don't, yeah. I don't know if I can answer that. I'm so sorry.
No, that's totally fine. That's totally
Yeah.
fine.
Because I don't think I'm always right, that's for sure. I'm
No,
not
it's
not always,
it's
I'm not right.
it's the learning space. No, it's totally cool.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
who are your three like influential people for you?
Oh, three influential that I admire. Um, I really admire my husband, and I know that sounds like, no, I really do. Like, I feel like we were put together for a reason, and Jim and I understand the reasons. Like, we see the synergy, we see the synchronicities in our lives. Um, and we're 9 years apart, but
Oh.
we get, the age difference never ever, like, I never even thought of that. I always
I
tease him,
love
I'm like, you're like 5, you're in kindergarten and I'm in daycare.
it.
That's our maturity levels. Okay. He's in kindergarten, I'm in daycare. Yeah. So he would be someone that I really admire. He's such a hard worker. He's 7 days a week, and he's such a good person. He also has a contracting business. He has a partner, and he's been doing that for like 30 plus years. Um, uh, who do I look up to? My parents, really my family. My parents, my children,
Mm.
all four of them were a blended family. They're also different and beautiful and just amazing in their own ways. And I admire each one of my kids for different things. They probably don't know that. They're probably like, yeah, right.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that's the truth. And my parents have always been there for me. Not always my biggest cheerleader. They, would be like, not a, this isn't such a great idea. But then I'm like, I'm gonna do it anyway. And then they're like, okay, we see the vision now. But
Yeah.
that comes from protection.
Yeah.
If you have a parent that's telling you you can't do something or you shouldn't do it, or it really is just they want to keep you safe.
Yeah.
And I know that my parents always tried their best to keep me safe, and my brother too.
Mm,
So it's really my family. I'm very
I love that.
family oriented, and I have to give a shout out to my best friend Karen. I talk about her a lot here and there on my social media, my um, videos and things like that. She and I are very spiritually connected. We are soul sisters,
Oh,
and she's a Gemini. I'm a Pisces. We're
I
like the
love
perfect matchup, and
I
yeah.
love that. Hey,
Great.
Karen.
She's a esthetician, and man, is she amazing.
Oh
Yeah.
my God, you guys really are. Oh,
Yeah.
Lord.
I met her when I was pregnant with my son. So Russ is 25. So we've been friends for about 26 years now. Yeah.
That is
Yeah.
so beautiful.
Horrible rash when I was pregnant on my chin.
Oh,
And
so she helped you.
oh my God, what is this? I look crazy. Well, and then when I saw her, she's like, oh, that's hormonal. When you get rashes or anything in this area, this means reproductive. And she looked down, she's like, obviously, there's
Oh.
something reproductive going on. And we've been besties ever since.
That
Yeah.
is beautiful.
My
That
ride
is
or die. My ride or die. Absolutely.
so time
Absolutely.
is ticking, time is ticking, but what do you have going on right now that listeners and watchers who are interested in makeup, how can they get in contact with you? What classes do you have? What trade shows do you have coming up?
Yeah. So, depending on when this is going to be broadcasted, I have a lot of classes coming up. It's all through the fall, winter. I have my 40 hour, my 20 hour. I'll be speaking in San Antonio, a premiere San Antonio, but that's September. So
Okay.
be out by then. My book, we have a book launch party in September as well. That's September 25th.
I love it.
All is invited. It's from 6 to 8, where I will be talking about my book. I'll sign books. So that's going to be a lot of fun. I love me a good party.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of classes for teens, kids. That's one thing, Krystine, you'll never ever see on my social media is 18 and under.
Yeah.
That's something that I believe really strongly in. I know a lot of makeup companies exploit kids, and we are not. Dawn Till Dusk Cosmetics is my
I love
cosmetic line. We do not exploit kids. Are they customers of ours? Absolutely. But you're not going to see pictures of children being made up, dolled up. It's a predator's dream. And
Mm-hmm.
so I'm very protective of kids as well. So women, children, I big protector. Like,
I love
super
that.
on. I really stand behind that. I'm also, we just launched Erin, my assistant, she just started contacting domestic violence related shelters, organizations. So if you are a DV organization and you would love for me to come and speak and possibly even teach a class, I would be more than happy to. And of course, I I will protect those people as well. It's not for showmanship to say, "Oh, look at me, I'm here," because a lot of times when you go to these places, they're in hiding and
Mm-hmm.
you can't take photos, which I totally agree with and stand behind. So you may or may not know about the domestic violence work that we do because of that too. So
I
that's all coming up. Yay!
Yes, no, for real. Like we got to talk about that more. You know,
Mm,
I come from divorced parents with a very abusive father. So I am
sorry.
pleasantly surprised with our conversation today because people need to know that. It's no more like a
Kidding.
shameful thing.
Well, I just
It happens. We're attracted to the charisma and to the fun, but then it turns into something else and then you can't blame yourself. You really cannot.
oh no, and they groom you. So it
Yes.
doesn't start out like, if our first date, if he smacked me, I'd be like, see ya. It doesn't work
Mm-hmm.
like that. It's a
Mm-mm.
slow, insidious,
Yes.
meticulous type of growth. And people have asked me, Dawn, why didn't you leave?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I ask, why didn't he stop?
Mm.
And I also will say to them, it is safer to sometimes stay than to leave. It is absolutely safer. You kind of build a cocoon around yourself and your kids to protect yourself and your children. So please, if you know of anyone in a relationship that's abusive, don't say to them, why don't you just leave? Because it doesn't work like that. It's not that easy. It's not that.
Mm-hmm.
It has to be done safely. You need the assistance of others, friends, family, authorities. I
Mm-hmm.
had authorities. Um, it's not, yeah. Yeah, it's a
Mhm.
very complicated. We could do another podcast and
Oh
talk about
yeah.
it's
Oh
very
yeah.
complex. In fact, I went to school, I took classes in like 2008. So this all happened in '07. Um, and I became certified as a divert member, domestic violence response team, where I worked with the local police. Whenever they would get a phone call, they would call me and say, "We have a victim. Could you come and talk to that person?" So you're there to comfort them,
Wow.
from, what a TRO is, that's a temporary restraining order, what an FRO is, that's a forever restraining order. That's what I have. So, I can't even, not that I would do this, but you can't even send the person a birthday card wishing them happy. Like you can't even do something nice once you have,
Mm-mm.
because then you're not in compliance with the restraining order. Um, so yeah, that I definitely learned about the cycle of violence, the honeymoon period, the explosive part, the build up to the incident, right?
Hmm.
We could talk about that another.
Absolutely.
And I am working on, just so everybody knows, my second book is being edited as we speak, and that's all about the lighting and more anatomy, and it's a
Good.
written word of how to do makeup. But I'm also writing an autobiography little by little. It takes time because
It
when you write,
does.
I've been doing it for years, like 10 years at least,
Hmm.
more, about what I went through. And it's not easy to write, and it's definitely not easy to talk about. This is something that I just started talking about, just started.
Ah,
And
okay.
so then I'll have,
Yes, absolutely. We can do this again.
yeah.
Absolutely. My final question though, what was a question that you wish I would have asked you that I didn't, and how would you have answered?
Hmm, something you did. I thought you did an amazing job.
Thank you.
I feel like, I was saying to some girls yesterday, I did a podcast, and I said, one of the hardest things for me to do is talk about myself, even though it seems so easy right now, but really, I'm like a shrinking violet. I'm like, oh gosh, you know, whatever, it is. If it could help someone, I did my job today. If I could, especially if you're in a bad situation,
Mm.
if it helped you, I'm so, so grateful. One thing that you didn't ask me, about my career, I don't know. I've done a lot of TV stuff, photography, makeup for photography. Um, I don't know. You did such a good job.
Oh, well, good. I am so happy to have you on the show
I'm
to
happy to be here. Thank you so much.
absolutely. I look forward to our next chat because we'll have lots more things to talk about. Um, all of your links are going to be in the show notes. So, you guys listening and watching this episode, go check it out. Buy that book.
Makeupclasses.com. I'm easy to find. My phone number's all over the place. Oh, if you want to reach out and call me, if you want some advice, I'm
Yeah.
very, very accessible. I designed it that way.
Hmm.
I'm not here to hide, and I'm here to help. So yeah, yeah,
I
please.
love it.
I love new friends. I love new friends.
Well, thank you so much, Don. Thank you guys for listening and watching. And until next time.
Yes.